I want today to create some cute bows at first. I want to teach you how to create any kind of bow you want. Basically, then we can convert them into trims and we can load them up into different projects, so you don't have to do it all over again. And also, these bows are going to be available in my Clo3D site, so you can download them from there if you don't want to make them yourself. We're gonna start simple. We're gonna do a simple ribbon bow. I think we can start here. So it has the little wings, let's call them, and then the rest of the ribbon is hanging down, and we have some nice gathering over here. Basically, what we're going to do is create two rectangles for this part, and then we're gonna scrunch it together here in the middle, and then two more pieces are gonna be sewn on the back side. So it's not gonna be really like a tight bow, but it's a bit of a trick. We're going to create two rectangles. Let's see, how wide should it be? We can go with 15 centimeters, and then it can be like 7 or maybe even wider, maybe 20 on the sides. I mean, it's really wide. If we're going to remake this has to be at least 20. And then this can be like 12. Yeah, we can always tweak it later. Let's start here. I'm gonna bring this over here in the middle. Let me correct my gizmo to the world coordinate. And then what we want to do is layer this under. So it's already sewn everywhere and it's right where we want it. And then I don't want it to be sewn on the top side and on the bottom side, just on this side. And I also need a line right here in the middle. So I'm going to distribute internal line between segments. Just one is fine. Here it is. And how we're gonna scrunch it here in the middle is basically selecting this line and going here on the elastic, clicking on, and then we want the ratio to be, I think 30 is a good number, but if I simulate right now, it's gonna fall to the ground and we don't want that. So let's go back, and I'm going to click here on the pins. Oh, actually no, not these pins. If I hold down W and I click, I can create this pin that's gonna hold this space right here, and then on the other side as well. And if I simulate now, you can see that it stays right here in the air. And I also want to sew these lines together as well. And I'm also going to lower my particle distance so we can see some more detail. There we go. And I can also move this around even when I'm simulating. Great. And now we're going to create a rectangle to wrap around this part to hide this middle section that we don't want to be seen. And what we want to do is we want to start big on this one so it can wrap around and not try to not be forced inwards. So I'm going to create a rectangle just with my eyes. I can sew the sides. Where is this piece? There we go. I can bring it here. And then what I want to do is basically force it to go around. So again, we will distribute some lines in here. I want 3. And then what I can do is select this tool right here, fold arrangement, and I can basically fold it so it goes around my main bow. And then if I click simulate, it's wrapped around there. And again, I'm going to lower my particle distance. There we go. Normally what you would want to do is make this piece much smaller, so it kind of scratches this section right here. What is important to do is pin this to the middle so it doesn't move around, because as you work on the bow, it can transfer, you know, to other sides. So I'm going to pin this here in the middle and also on the back side. And now that we have this piece, we no longer, I think we don't need to have this elastic on here. Great. And we will use this piece to scrunch up the bow. So, as I said, we don't want to shrink it because it may cause some trouble with the simulation, but we can go here to shrink it, go to warp because that's the vertical dimension. And I'm going to go slowly down, like 95 at first, 90, there we go. And as it shrinks down in this direction, it's going to scrunch up my bow. And as you can see, we have the main body of the bow right here. Now, so this part looks too flat, like a bow that it's tied, it usually has gathering here and it's not so simple. So what I usually do is I layer clone this over. I remove the linked editing because I don't want that, and I delete these lines. Now if I press simulation, we have this piece over. So, oh, this is the back side actually. The back side looks better, so what we can do is flip this like that. But we also need to correct our pins now. So this front one, am I at the front? I'm gonna hide this piece so I can work on the inside. So this right here goes to the front, and this right here goes to the back. If I press Shift Q, I can quickly hide and unhide a piece. So right now I want to make this a bit bigger. I'm going to freeze everything else just so we can work on this part. Like that. And again, I can lower the particle distance even more to create this kind of effect. And I can also hit right click and show hide color, and I can hide everything so the blue doesn't interfere with my process. And basically what it's left now is to create those longer pieces that fall down. The best way to do this is to click on the back side and again layer it over. There we go. Delete all of these sewing lines, but leave this one in the middle. And if I simulate, oh, it's frozen, so unfreeze. I don't need these pins either. I am going to unfreeze these. I'm going to unfreeze everything then. And I can strengthen this thing. There we go. So as you can see, these almost fall down now. But what I want to do is remove the linked editing first. And then I'm going to add some points here in the middle, so I can work separately on each side. And what I want to do basically is pull this out, like really long, not that long, 50. and also on the other side. And if I simulate, there is our bow. Of course, we can adjust to make it look the way we want it to. A bow wouldn't hang from these points right here. So what I'm going to do is create a new piece right here. This is gonna be our template. I can freeze it. And then I'm going to bring this a bit forward, like that. Delete these pins, I don't need them anymore. And then I'm going to pin this part here on my template. Doesn't matter where. And I'm going to simulate. If I'm not happy with the way it drapes and everything, I can always come up here to my fabric. I can manage this so it's not as soft, let's say, but I can also use the presets from the library. There we go. Now it looks a bit sturdier. And using this template actually is really helpful because you can pin the parts that you want back here, and then I can always mess with the shape of this. Like I can bring the corners in to be a bit more interesting. And again, I can pin the parts that I want back here on the template. And I can even work on them right here on the 2D space. And I can also pin the bottom side around here. And I can also change the length of these pins so it's not right onto the template. I can go for like 2 cm here. And again, I'm not entirely happy about this drape over here, which is on the bottom side, as you can see if I click. So I can also get the fullness tool and change it however I want. I'm going to reduce it like that, so it has the shape we want. I don't need these lines right now, I'm going to delete those. I think we need a softer fabric for this, so I'm going to copy it and bring this down again. Assign it. Yes. I want to have a really low particle distance, so we can see all that detail in the draping. Select everything and up that rendering. On this one, I can actually make it even less, like go back. And I think I can go to 2 for this one. That's better. And I can hide this. And here is our first bow. I want to tidy this up. I want to delete this piece because it's not part of the bow. This part is optional if you're going to just import it again into Clo, but if you want to import it to a different 3D program, it's best that you do this. Let's reset. There we go. And then click on Fit All UV to 1 and then export it. Usually I export as an object, and I'm going to export this as bow 01. Includes this information, like where the faces of this object go. If you want to add a pattern or something on it, let's go to a new project. Let's bring in a garment. Okay, I'm gonna select this one and also bring in an avatar. There we go. Either we can bring in the bow from the original file we have and just simulate it here, pin it wherever we want, or we can import it as an object. Open, don't forget here to add as a trim. Okay. And we can pin it like right here. And here is our little skirt and how quickly we can add the bows into new projects. And I can even simulate this way and it will be on to the fabric, but it's like really stiff. Okay, let's go do another one. Alright, again we're gonna start with one rectangle over here. This is gonna be a smaller bow, around 10 cm wide, and then height 50. And just like we did before, I want to hit W and click here on the edges so we can pin it over there, and then layer clone under. There is our second piece. I don't want the top and the bottom to be sewn together. Delete these pins and simulate. There we go. And again we need one line here in the middle. We can sew it and we can also add some elastic there. And of course lower the particle distance. And again we need a rectangle for here in the middle. We can just eyeball it, sew these sides and distribute lines between them so we can fold it. And using fold arrangement, I can wrap it around. As we did previously, I can remove the elastic from here and use this piece now to scrunch it up. And again, we need to pin it so it doesn't fly around. I think the back again looks better, but let's see. This is not right. Okay, let's crunch it up a bit more. And I want to lower and simulate so it doesn't shrink too much too suddenly. I'm just going to make this a bit stiffer. Okay, it doesn't look great back here. Let's try this with the elastic again. I think the pins don't work. Okay, I'm just gonna pin it here at the front, at the back actually. You know what we can do is pin these sides as well. Okay, and now we want this to be double in here. Oh, actually, I'm gonna make this bigger since we want to add more in there. I'm going to duplicate this here on the bottom. I will have to bring it up. And I want to reset this so it can wrap around both of them. As you can see, we're on the back side again. What could also help is strengthening it. Oh, and reducing, go back to normal for this. There we go. And again, now that we have two bows, we can start reducing this. I want this to be sewn to this one. So this one to this one. Great. And again, lower this. Okay, can I delete this? What do you think? Freeze. And of course I can pull and tag to get the desired shape. Okay, so if this is the front, I don't want this line over here. So I'm going to rotate it. And again, we'll have to correct this pin. So like this should go here. And I can lower this even more. There. And for the final step, I'm going to layer clone this over. And remove the linked editing. Remove these lines as well. And again, widen it so it can gather around that part. Unfreeze it and go. And we want even lower because this bow is like much smaller. And if it doesn't look the way we want, again, pins are great for that. And then I can pin this over here. And there is our second bow. And again, we can follow the same thing we did the last time. If we want to like have it stay flat in somewhere on the body, we can again bring in the backdrop we used before, so we can flatten it. Or we could even use the floor, like if I unfreeze everything and I can like make it lie down over here. And there, now the back is a bit flatter, so you can use it on any surface you want. And we will do one more bow. It's gonna be sort of a ribbon one, not so fluffy, like a really small, like spaghetti strap, maybe like 8 millimeters. Yes. And oh, let me find a reference so you know what I want to do. Like these tiny ones, like this is 6 millimeters probably. And as you can see, they're far more simple, like they don't have folds and stuff like that over them. So if it's let's go even smaller, actually 6 millimeters to 5. Here we have this little piece. Let's distribute a line here in the middle, and I also want to split it right there and duplicate it 2 times. Now if I bring everything here and here, and what I want to do is sew this side to this side and this side to this side, and right down the middle as well. I'm going to use a template for this because we want it to be flat anyways. Again, we need another rectangle. This time the width is 6 and the height is 40 again. Oh, we can make it smaller. And again, we want those 3 lines right down the middle, or distribute between them. Bring this around like that. And then also I'm going to pin this edge right on there. And I'm gonna freeze this so it stays in the air. And simulate. I forgot to sew this side. And these pieces are really small, so we definitely need to be going like below 5 actually, but let's go with 5 for now. And one more pin we need here in the middle to this. Is it this one? Yes, there, so it doesn't move. And again, like we did before, we can lower this. And also, for something this small, we want to reduce the additional thickness in collision so they can be closer together. And this needs to be even smaller. And then we need to adjust the shape a bit, because it's kind of like an X when you see it. I'm gonna hide these two. And I'm gonna use some pins to pin this here and this over here. And I'm gonna bring this back. Oh, not this one. I wanna pin this over here and this bottom edge right here. And of course adjust it, because right now it looks a bit scary. And a bit higher. Let me go lower here. 3. This needs to go there. And now we have this cute little bow. And you know, these bows actually, since they're really small, you don't need to have them simulated, because it's really cute, so you don't have, you know, you won't be able to see it move. So this is the best one to actually turn into a trim and then import it again. Yeah, so basically we'd have to follow what we did before to export it and then import it again to whatever project you're doing.